Share screen. Share. Disable annotations. Okay. Okay, this is Jnana Yoga. So let's revise a little bit. What was the name of first chapter? Now in this way we will able to remember all the chapters, all the 18 chapters. So that's why I'm taking revision. What was the name of first chapter? Please write in the chat box. Okay, good. Super. What was the name of second chapter? Now let's see how many of you can remember. What was the name of second chapter? Amazing, amazing, super. Now tell me what was the name of third chapter? Third chapter, yesterday we saw, right? Karma Yoga, amazing. First is Arjuna Vishada Yoga, where Arjuna is lamenting. Then Sankhya Yoga. In the Sankhya Yoga, the Sankhya means summary. And in that summary, Krishna has spoken about the duties, about the soul, right? So he's telling Arjuna, don't worry, Arjuna, nothing is going to happen to your grandfather and your teacher. Because if you kill them, they will get a new body. So why you are worrying? And anyways, everyone has to give up the body one day. You cannot keep this body as long as you want. Can you show me a person in the world who is saying, I am not going to die? There was one person. His name was Michael Jackson. Have you heard of him? Michael Jackson? Yes, he was a famous pop singer, very popular. And, he did not wanted to die. So what he did, he had a lot of money. Of course, he had a lot of money. And then he had all kinds of steroids. He thought that will work. And then he had special doctors force. So they were taking care of him day in and day out. And then he did a lot of kind of, plastic surgery to look more young. But then what happened? He died at the age of 52. So no one can say that I am not going to die. Because Krishna says in the Gita, this is a Martya Lok. If you have taken a birth, you will have to die. And if you are dead, you will born soon. Right? Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. Dhruvo janma mritasya cha. Tasmat pariharyete. Natvam shochitum arhasi. My dear Arjuna, don't lament. Right? We saw that story of Kisa Gautami was searching for the grains in the home where no one had died, but she could not find a single home. So we understand that everyone has to live, and that's why Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't worry, you fight, you fulfill your duties. And in the third chapter, Krishna spoke more about the duties. So he spoke that work, but then he also spoke, if you work, then you will get reactions. Then he gave a amazing way that is called the Nishkama Karma Yoga. And the Nishkama Karma Yoga, what you have to do? You have to just surrender to God and follow his words. Whatever he says, you do that. And whatever results you are getting, you offer to Krishna. And that's how you are saved from reactions, right? And then you will not get a rebirth. Somebody may say, yesterday we were discussing that somebody may say, मैं काम ही नहीं करूंगा तो reaction ही नहीं आएगा, right? But ऐसा नहीं होता. Just like we saw yesterday, if somebody is sitting idle also, he is killing so many bacteria while breathing. What to say of while eating? We kill so many plants, right? Plants also have life. How many of you believe that plants have a life, right? How many of you believe that plants also have a life? And that's why you water them, right? And when you water them, they grow. Can I water this phone? And will it grow? Will it become too opposed? Or will it give the birth to Vivo, iPhone? No, these are non-living entities. And yesterday we saw that there are 84 lakhs of species. Jalajanavalakshani, Sthavarvimshalakshati, Krimaya Rudra Sankhya Pashavah Dash Lakshanam. There are 9 lakhs Jalajanavalakshani species of aquatics. Those are living in the water. There are 9 lakh species. There are different varieties of fishes and so many other things that is living in the ocean or in the water bodies. Now sthavar here means the plants. Plants also have life. So when we are eating sabji, we are killing plants, isn't it? Are we killing the plants? Write in the comment box. Are we killing the plants when we are making sabji, making vegetables? Yes, we are killing the plants. Then somebody may ask, तो देखो ना, जो वेजिटेरियन है वो प्लांट्स को किल करता है और जो नॉन वेजिटेरियन है वो एनिमल्स को किल करता है. सो बोथ ऑफ देम आर सेम. somebody may say like that. बराबर की नहीं? जो सब्जी खाता है, let us say potato, आलू का सब्जी बनाया आपने, आपके मम्मी ने आज. So you are killing the aloo, right? You are killing the tomatoes. And the other guy may say, अरे मैंने ना आज non-veg खाया, चिकन खाया, चिकन. Then he may say, तू आलू खाता है, तू आलू को मारता है, मैं चिकन को मारता हूँ. We both are same. Are both are same? What does your logic says? Cutting the aloo and cutting the chicken, are both things same? Both have a life. Remember, both have a life. Are both things same? Why do you feel that both things are not same? Now, if you get any questions regarding this, kindly note it down. We will take it later. Why do you think that killing aloo and killing chicken or killing goat is completely different? Why do you think? Just tell me, when you kill the aloo, when you cut the aloo, is there any blood? Is there any blood? No. Of course, aloo has the life, but his senses are not developed. So he doesn't feel the pain. Please understand that. Aloo doesn't feel the pain. His senses are not that much developed. And to live, you have heard this saying, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. One living entity is dependent on other living entities. One living. So if we want to live, we have to kill someone. But that someone should not be chicken or goat or any for that matter, any animal or any bird, because their senses are developed and they experience the pain, right? If you go to market, you can see so many chicken shops are there, right? So you just observe the chickens. They are so fearful, they are so scared. Nobody likes to die, right? No one likes to die. So that's why they shouting for help. So no one likes to die. So we were comparing between aloo or the bhindi. How many of you loves bhindi? Yeah, many kids love bhindi. So when we cut bhindi or aloo and when we cut murgi and chicken, there is a lot of difference, because murgi is experiencing the pain. Her senses are so much developed. Just imagine you go and experience the cut from the blade on your finger. You see, you will just shout, "Bachao, bachao, cool." And don't you think that the murgi is not experiencing any pain. No, she's experiencing. But what she can do, she's helpless, right? She's helpless. And that's why Krishna says in the Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, only offer me vegetarian food. Did he say Andam Mausam Machim Khekadam? Do you know Khekada? Khekada means crab. In Mumbai, people eat crab also. Now you may say in China, people eat all kinds of living beings. But when I remember, I was seeing one day, I was a child and I was shocked to see people eat khekada. What is this? Right? So Krishna did not say andam. Andam means egg. Andam mausam. Maas matlab mutton. Machim khekadam. Did Krishna say that? He said, no, offer me only vegetarian food. Right? Now you may say, when we are killing the potato or bhindi or gajar or aloo muli, then we are killing them. When we are killing them, we are committing sin. Yes, we are committing sin. And that's why Krishna gave the procedure of offering the food to him. That's why he's saying, Yadnishishashina santa munchante sarvakil vishai bhunjante titvagham papo papo. आपको पाप नहीं लगेगा, कभी पाप नहीं लगेगा, यज्ञ शिष्टाशिनः संत, जब आप यज्ञ को देंगे, भगवान विष्णु को ऑफर करेंगे, मुझे ऑफर करेंगे, प्रसाद कृष्ण को देंगे, तो क्या करूंगा मैं, आपके सारे पापों से मुक्ति करवाऊंगा. क्योंकि देखिए ना, आपको जीना है तो आपको कुछ खाना पड़ेगा, राइट? और आपको तो नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड नहीं खाना है, बिकॉज इट इज प्रोहिबिटेड फ्रॉम the point of view of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, we will discuss more of this topic in 18th chapter. So it is prohibited. So then you may think, अरे अभी क्या खाए? तो आप क्या खाओ? Fruit खाओ, आप vegetables खाओ, different kinds of vegetables, right? So then you will not have to go through the reactions. Otherwise, if you don't offer to Krishna, then you are verily eating sin. This is a word of Bhagavad Gita. You are verily eating sins. Please remember this. And whatever we are doing in this life, it is noted very nicely. And then we get a reaction for that. So, very simple process of becoming sinless is just accepting prasad. And I was telling in the group that this process is not, some mythological. No, it has a logic. It's a logic. And whoever eats the prasad, we can see the transformation in his life. And I know many examples. Some of the people were like a gundas of Gali in Mumbai. And when they came to temple, they did not know anything about the Krishna, but they just saw the prasad which was being served in a temple. So just they kept on coming and they kept on eating and never bothered about going upstairs and taking the darshan of Radha and Krishna. They were not bothered. But after some years, there was such a huge transformation. Some of my friends were like a gundas. I mean, they become later my friend. But previously they were gundas. And then eventually they gave up everything. They gave up tea and coffee. Can you imagine? So this is the power of prasad. Okay. Now let's go ahead and now discuss this 4th chapter. It is a Jnana Yoga. We were just revising our 3rd chapter. So you don't think that मेरे को केवल एक ही दिन करना है. No, आपको हर रोज करना है. आपको हर रोज करिए, राइट? आप हर रोज प्रसाद दिखाइए, भोग दिखाइए भगवान को, और उस प्रसाद को आप हर रोज खाइए. और कितना समय लगता है? 1 मिनट लगता है. दिखाओ भगवान को, प्रार्थना करो कि भगवान कृपया ऐसे ग्रहण करो. Please take it. And then Krishna will accept it. He will give you. Now you may think Krishna is not eating the weight of the prasadam or the They are, it is same. Did Krishna eat? Yes, Krishna eats the bhav. Krishna eats the consciousness. Ashnami prayat atmanah. He says, I eat. So even we think that how Krishna is eating, jitna rakha tha, utna hi hai. So Krishna, just by his glance, he eats. Angani asya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. Brahma Samhita says that Krishna's eyes can perform the function of all the limbs. Can our nose eat? Can our nose eat? Can our nose hear? No, our nose cannot hear. Can our mouth hear? No, our mouth will not hear. Our ears will hear. But it is not the case with Krishna. With the eyes, Krishna can see. Not only he can see, but he can hear, he can speak, he can eat. So Krishna just glances at the food and he eats the food. Right? And what is the proof of that? The proof is very simple. The transformation. The bhakti is the process of transformation. Bhagavad Gita is not of course, the information is given. Information is given. A lot of information is given in the Bhagavad Gita. But more than that information, the Bhagavad Gita is a book of transformation. The person is changed. That's why Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam Susukham Kartumavayam. Susukham Kartumavayam. If you experience the pleasure while doing bhakti. Right? That's why I told you, you also start experiencing. You also go every day in front of God. You also pray. You also offer food. You also eat that food. Then slowly we'll see that you are experiencing the food, experiencing the joy and bliss. And yesterday we were discussing one more example, Param Drishtva Nivardate, where I had shown you the picture of beggar, right? So beggar was eating. So I was giving the example, when the beggar's tummy is filled, he will not go and beg. When beggar is getting food every day, he will not go and beg. Similarly, when we are experiencing the higher pleasure, the lower pleasures of this world, they will automatically go. Right? What are the lower pleasures of this world? The bad habits. They will automatically reduce to zero. Okay? Let's go ahead. This is Jnana Yoga. Now Sri Bhagavan Vacha imam vivasvate yugam Ruktabhan aham avyayam vivaswan manave praha manurikshva kabhi bravid. So now Krishna is telling, oh my dear Arjuna, जैसे देखो ना, कोई आप क्लास में, कोई ट्यूशन क्लास है, वहां पे यदि आप एडमिशन लेने जाओगे ना, तो वहां पे ऐसे फोटो लगाए होते हैं कि देखो ये बच्चे को 90% मिला, इसने भी मेरे से कोचिंग ली, इसको 90% मिला, इसको 93, ऐसे लगाए होते हैं फोटो. एंड then you get attracted. Oh my God, this sir is so wonderful. He's teaching so nicely. And that's why so many kids are getting result. I will also take an admission in this tuition. So this is the marketing. Do you know that? Similarly, in the one sense, Krishna is doing marketing. Krishna said to Arjuna, don't worry, Arjuna, you follow this knowledge, what I'm telling you, you follow this. Because in the previous times, I have given same knowledge to Sun God, to Ishvaku, to Manu, and then to Ishvaku. Basically, these were powerful kings. So he's telling कि मैंने उनको नाम दिया, देखो उन्होंने कितने अच्छे प्रकार से सब कुछ संभाला. उसी प्रकार से आप भी फॉलो करो मुझे और आपको फायदा होगा. Now Vivaswan here means the sun god. Just like I was speaking on the first day that the Ganga is not only the river, Ganga has the personal form also. So similarly, sun god also has the personal form and his name is Vivaswan. So Vivaswan, Krishna spoke this knowledge to Vivaswan and he told what are the importance of duties. And Krishna says, just observe the sun. Sun is coming every day. He is fulfilling his duties. Does sun come every day and sets every day? How many of you have seen sun bunking one day? So, how many of you feel that, when I was a child, one day sun did not come? No, it will not happen ever, because he's pakka in his duty. Whatever happens, sun will come. So Krishna is saying, just see, sun god Vivaswan. I have told him to perform duties. I have given this knowledge to him. And see, not a single day he is missing his duty. So you also follow me. Then, Krishna speaks very important thing. Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidhu. So kale neham hata yogo nashta parantapa. So I gave this knowledge to sun god, but the later kings, they could not get this knowledge because there was a breakage in the disciplic succession. There was a breakage in the Guru Shishya Parampara. So sun god could not pass this knowledge to future kings. But now I am giving the same knowledge. You do that. You follow that. The chain was broken. So Krishna is saying, now you follow that. I'm what I'm telling you. So here we saw an amazing term, parampara. Parampara here means the Guru Shishya Parampara. Guru teaches to his disciple teaches to his disciple teaches to his disciple, and that's how there is an unbroken chain of disciplic succession. So somebody may ask, what is the proof that the Gita which you are referring is the same Gita which was told by Krishna? So answer is same. It is coming in Guru Shishya Parampara, right? Because it is coming in the Guru Shishya Parampara, unbroken chain of disciplic succession. And these gurus they are so honest that they don't concoct message. They don't subtract the message. They don't make the addition in the message. Whatever they have received, they have given to us. That's why the Gita which we are referring, Bhagavad Gita, it is called as it is. It is the same Gita which was told by Krishna to Arjuna. There is no addition, there is no subtraction, right? So Krishna is saying here about the parampara, Guru Shishya Parampara. Now we will study a little bit about what is this Guru Shishya Parampara. So yesterday I was telling the purpose of the human life is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, to learn spiritual knowledge, to learn spiritual science. We are learning mathematics, we are learning science, we are learning history, geography. Okay, that's good, that's nice. But you also need to learn spiritual science, Adhyatmik Gyan. And where you can get this Adhyatmik Gyan? Krishna has given his Adhyatmik Gyan, his knowledge, his spiritual knowledge to 4 people, initially. So these are 4 main universities. So first of all, he gave knowledge to Lord Brahma. Tere Brahma Rudaya Kavaye. He gave knowledge to Lord Brahma. And then he gave knowledge to Lakshmi Devi. There were 4 peoples to whom Lord Krishna spoke about himself, and he gave his own knowledge. Then he spoke with Lord Shiva. He gave his knowledge, this spiritual knowledge. And then 4 Kumaras. 4 Kumaras, do you know that story of 4 Kumaras when they, went to the Vaikuntha and then they cursed Jay and Vijay? 4 Kumaras. Okay, if you don't know, then let me cover. These 4 Kumaras, they are like a Kumaras, 5-year-old boys, but they are like a Rishis, maybe greater than Rishis, right? So then Lord Brahma gave that knowledge to Madhvacharya, right? And then Lakshmi ji then gave to Ramanujacharya. Lord Shiva gave that knowledge to Vishnu Swami. And then 4 Kumaras gave that knowledge to Nimbarakacharya. And that's how that knowledge is now coming to us, right? So as a ISKCON people, I'm from ISKCON, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Mandir. So I'm from ISKCON. So as a ISKCON, we are connected with Madhvacharya line. So you have to get connected with some of the line if you want to get that knowledge, right? So we are connected with, now all of you also are connected with Madhvacharya, because I have learned from, in that sampradaya. So you are also learning from me. That means you are also connected with Madhvacharya now. So Lord Brahma gave that knowledge to Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya, we will, no, this is not your topic actually, but I'm discussing with the, afternoon boys, the glories of Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya was a powerful Acharya, and he himself learned from Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva taught him personally. So still we have a wonderful temple in Udupi, in the Karnataka, of Madhvacharya. His disciples are still living. I mean, not exact disciples, but disciples of disciples. His Guru Shishya Parampara is still there. And Ramanujacharya was from Sri Rangam, which is very close to Chennai, right? His disciples are still there, right? So this knowledge is passed in a disciplic succession. Krishna ne Brahma ji ko diya, Brahma ji ne, of course there is a unbroken again chain in between Brahma and Madhva. There are many gurus, but we are just focusing on the main gurus. That's why I only spoke of Madhvacharya, right? So Madhvacharya then gave knowledge to Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri gave to Vishwar Puri. So many people are in disciplic succession. And then Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave to my Guru. And I learned these things from my Guru. Right? So this is Guru Shishya Parampara. So one has to follow the Guru Shishya Parampara. One cannot go and say that, I saw one sadhu, he had a big beard, he is my Guru. No, you cannot say like that. And it is not proper also. Because you need to follow a certain parampara, right? Now, just tell me, will you check the authenticity of school before taking admission? क्या जब आपका स्कूल का एडमिशन हुआ तो आपको ऐसे ही कोई स्कूल में डाला गया क्या कि आपके पापा ने चेक किया कि नहीं, मैं देखता हूं पहले ये स्कूल कैसा है, टीचर्स अच्छे हैं कि नहीं? ऐसे देखते हैं कि नहीं आप? ये टीचर्स अच्छे से सिखाते कि नहीं? यहाँ पे पासिंग रेट क्या है, बच्चों को कैसे पास करते हैं, क्या क्या सब्जेक्ट्स है, सब कुछ देखते हैं, राइट? उसी प्रकार से इन द सिमिलर वे वी कैन नॉट एक्सेप्ट एनीवन एज अ guru. We have to check his authenticity, just like we check the authenticity of the school. ये CBSE से connected है क्या, कि ICSE बोर्ड से connected है, कि SSC बोर्ड से connected है? So connection here is important, right? You will not go to bogus school. ऐसे ही आप जाओगे नहीं, अरे मैंने ना वहां पे ना एक बिल्डिंग थी और उसके ऊपर लिखा था सो एंड सो स्कूल, मैंने एडमिशन ले लिया. विल यू गो देयर? नो, आपको सर्टिफिकेट ही नहीं मिलेगा. So you will check the connection of that school with the board, SSC board, IGCSE board, whichever board, international board, so many boards are there. So we'll check there. So similarly, when we are, approaching a guru, we have to see, is he properly connected with God through the disciplic succession, through the Guru Shishya Parampara? If yes, then he can change your life. Here is example I am giving. Now, what is this? This is a switchboard, right? It's a switchboard. Now, how can I check that this switchboard is working or not? Write in the comment box. How can I check this switchboard is working? मैं कैसे चेक करूंगा कि ये जो स्विच बोर्ड मेरे सामने दिख रहा है वो वर्किंग है कि बंद है? हाउ डू आई नो? टेस्टर, राइट? मैं उंगली डालूंगा क्या उसके अंदर? नहीं, उंगली मत डालना. I will check after pressing a button, right? After switching on the button, if the bulb is glowing, then I can say, yes, this switchboard is working, right? What do you mean by bulb is, glowing? What do you mean by bulb is glowing? That means current is coming there, right? Current is coming there, and switchboard and the generator is properly connected. When the generator and the board is properly connected, that time only bulb will glow. Otherwise, bulb will not glow, right? If I just get this from a some hardware shop and I keep here and I keep pressing the button, will the bulb glow? No, it is not connected to the generator, to the main electricity, right? Similarly, we have to understand that the guru is also should be connected to the generator. And who is the generator? Krishna is the generator. And just like from generator, from the many poles, there are so many poles you have seen on the road. There are so many poles, and you can see the electric cables are hanging, right? So from generator to the poles to the transformers, there are many transformers. And from those transformers, the electricity is coming to your home. Do you produce electricity at your home? No, it comes from generator, which is far, far, far away from our home. But how does it come? From the poles, from the transformers, from that electric cables, right? And if one of the cable is broken, then electricity will not come. And that's why you see that there is sudden power failure. Why power failure happens? Because there is a problem in the cables. Then the cable is immediately changed. Similarly, when there is a problem in Guru Shishya Parampara, when there is a breakage in the Guru Shishya Parampara, then you will not able to get the proper Jnana. That's why we have to check that this particular Guru has proper Parampara. He is connected with Krishna ultimately, right? Okay, now Arjuna was confused. Again, Arjuna is confused. But let me tell you, Arjuna is not confused. Arjuna is the friend of Krishna. Arjuna is devotee of Krishna. He need not to get confused. But on our behalf, he is getting confused. He is asking, Param bhavato janma, param janma vivasvataha, kathame tad vijaniyam, tamado proktavaniti. He's saying, Aparam bhavato janma. Oh Krishna, you are my friend, and your birth is, you have just elder to me by some few years. आप मेरे से 3-4 साल बड़े हैं कृष्णा, राइट? और आप कह रहे हैं कि आपने ये ज्ञान सूरज को दिया. You have taught this knowledge to sun god. How is this possible? Sun god is so old. Sun god is so old, right? No one of us know the birth of sun god, birthday of sun god, because we don't know when he has taken a birth, right? That's why Arjuna is confused कि कृष्ण आप तो मेरे उम्र के ही है और आप आज बता रहे हैं कि आपने सन गॉड को ज्ञान दिया, सूरज को ज्ञान दिया. कैसे पॉसिबल है कृष्ण? Just like tomorrow one kid comes to your home and tells you कि आपको पता है क्या कि जो आपके हेडमास्टर है ना, स्कूल के हेडमास्टर, प्रिंसिपल, मैंने सिखाया उनको मैथ्स, मैं सिखाता था. Will you believe him? The small 6-year boy comes to your home and tells, I used to teach to your headmaster, principal. Will you believe him? We laugh at him. अरे जाना करते. So similarly, Arjuna is saying, Krishna, how is this possible? Because you are just born, few years ago you have born, and you are telling you taught this knowledge to sun god. Sun god is the oldest being in the world. How is it possible? Now Krishna speaks a wonderful verse. Krishna says, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyaham ved sarvani natvam vittha parantapa. Sri Bhagavan Lord Krishna said, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava Arjuna. Hey Arjun, in the past you had taken a birth and I also had taken a birth, but I remember everything, you don't remember anything. And this is God. God remember everything. Yesterday we were discussing ना कि reincarnation, जब पुनर्जन्म होता है तो हमको पिछला क्यों नहीं याद होता है? We don't remember. Many of us don't remember. Why? कैसे याद रहेगा? कल क्या, परसों रात को क्या खाया था, किसको याद है? नहीं याद है. Our buddhi is really weak, right? That's why we don't remember, and that's why we cannot claim I am God. Now you can see there are many people, they claim that I am God, right? But when you ask them, what did you eat 3 days ago? They will say, Arey, I don't remember. But Krishna here is saying, bahuni में व्यतीतानि. व्यतीतानि मतलब मैंने बहुत सारे जन्म पार किए और मेरे को सब कुछ याद है. कौन से जन्म में क्या किया? बहुनि में व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि. I know everything. Natvam vedha parantapa. And you don't remember, Arjuna. You cannot remember because I'm a god. Now I was telling this. What did you eat day before yesterday? How many of you love pizza? Pizza मुंह में पानी आ गया, right? Okay. So let's go ahead. Okay. Now Krishna is explaining here very wonderfully that's why the chapter's name is Jnana Yoga. He's speaking about himself. He's giving his own Gyan. And you can see in the picture that how Krishna is explaining about himself. This verse is very important. And we are coming to closer to that verse, which is most famous verse. How many of you know the most famous verse of Bhagavad Gita? Practically everyone of you have heard this particular verse. Which is that verse? Yada yada hi dharmasya. सुना है कि नहीं आप लोगों ने? Good. ठीक है. आपने वो यदि if you had seen that Mahabharata and the title song Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharat, like that. So this verse is 4.6. Ajopi sanya avyatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakrutim swamadishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. To now removes Arjuna's confusion. He's saying Ajopi, मेरा जन्म नहीं होता. Ajopi, मेरा जन्म नहीं होता. इसका मतलब I don't take an ordinary birth, just like we all of us take from the womb, and when we come, we start crying, right? And if we don't cry, doctor comes from behind and they right? आपने देखा होगा movies में, तो रोते हैं. जैसे that song is there ना, रोते हुए सब आते हैं. So Ajopi sanya vyatma. Krishna says Ajopi, I am unborn. Ajopi sanya avyatma. Avyatma means I'm inexhaustible. I cannot die. Bhutanam Ishwaropi san. And I am Bhutanam Ishwar. I am the Lord of all the living entities. Bhutanam Ishwaropi san. Whichever living entities, non-living entities you are seeing in this world, oh Arjuna, know that I am the Lord. Right? Prakrutim swamadhishtaya. I am the Swami of nature. Right? Just like we are forced by nature to do certain things. We are forced by nature. Did we choose our parents? How many of you have chosen your parents? नहीं, मुझे ना वही चाहिए, वही parents चाहिए. No, we are not. We don't have that choice. But Krishna has that choice. Krishna says, because I am the Lord of Prakriti, I am the Lord of nature. Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Sambhavami Atma Maya means I appear according to my wish. Whenever I want to appear, I appear. And whenever I want to disappear, I can disappear. Right? And that's why he says, I am God. Ajopi sanya avyatma. So in this picture, we can see that Krishna did not have the ordinary birth. He first of all, he appeared in the Chaturbhuj Roop. And then Vasudeva said, my dear Lord, you please, become a child. And then he became a small boy. Here, a very wonderful verse comes that Avyatma, inexhaustible. Krishna's body doesn't grow old. Yes, Krishna is, if you see this particular Leela, Krishna is small boy, right? But then later he becomes a little older. And when he attains the youthful form, that youthful form never changes. Just like you are seeing me today, but if you see me after 20 or 30 years, my hairs would grow gray, right? And there would be wrinkles on my face, and I would be like tired, just like Shankaracharya says, Angam galitam palitam mundam. Angam galitam, यदि मैं बूढ़ा हो गया तो क्या हो जाऊंगा? गलितम, ऐसा थक जाऊंगा ना, गल जाऊंगा. पलितम मुंडम, मेरे जो दांत है, सॉरी, पलितम मुंडम मीन्स पलितम मतलब ये सब चला जाएगा, टक्कल बोल्ड हो जाऊंगा मैं. पलितम मुंडम दर्शन विहीन जातम तुंडम, मेरे सब दांत निकल जाएंगे. पर कृष्ण कैसे हुआ क्या? नहीं. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव सीन ओल्ड कृष्णा's फोटो? Have seen Krishna's photo where Krishna has some mooch, where Krishna has some beard and white hairs? Have you seen Krishna's photo like that? Write in the chat box. Have you seen Krishna's photo where Krishna is grown old and he has white hairs and he has mustache and he has some beard? No, because Krishna doesn't grow old. After 16 years of age, he doesn't grow. Ever youthful, right? He's ever youthful. Nityam navnavayamanaha, is always fresh and new. Now here I was telling one more important thing. Bhutanam Ishwaropi San, I am a lord of all living entities. So although I'm a small boy, I will still remain the lord of all living entities. Some people may say, when Krishna is small, his energy is less. When Krishna goes bigger, his energy is more. No, this doesn't happen. Just like when some child is small, he doesn't have any energy. But as he grows old, and then he has some energy to perform some task. But it is not the case with Krishna. So please understand, Krishna and you are completely different. So here differentiation is made by Krishna himself. So till the time we think that Krishna and myself is same, then there is no use of reading Bhagavad Gita. Because the whole purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is to understand who Krishna is. And if we don't understand, even after Krishna is telling again and again that you and me are different, there are people who say, अरे क्या होगा ना, हम भी कृष्ण बन जाएंगे, हम भी कृष्ण हैं. No, it doesn't happen like that. Sarve vayamatah param. There will be always a distinction between the Jivatma and Paramatma. You and Krishna will always remain different. So you will never become Krishna. So some people has this conception कि मैं मरने के बाद कृष्ण में विलीन हो जाऊंगा. No, it doesn't happen like that. You don't get into Krishna. ठीक है. Okay, so Bhutanam Ishwaropi San. So I was discussing that how some people say that when the Krishna is little child, his energies are less. No, he is always Bhutanam Ishwar. You see in this picture, he lifted the Govardhan hill for 7 days and 7 nights, and then Indra came to him and said, मैं आपकी शरण लेता हूँ, मैं आपको पहचान नहीं पाया, मुझे लगा आप कोई छोटे बालक है तो कृष्ण नहीं होंगे, आप में उतनी शक्तियां नहीं होंगी. पर ऐसा नहीं होता, right? Krishna is always Krishna. Either he is of one day or 16 years old boy. Do you know at what age Krishna spoke the Gita? Anyone know the Krishna's age? At what age? वैसे देखा जाए तो Krishna doesn't have any age, but for that matter, that at what age Krishna spoke the Gita? Anyone know? No. No. Krishna was 125 years old. 125 साल के थे कृष्ण, पर कृष्ण का चेहरा देखो. He's ever youthful. And when Krishna was speaking Gita, he had many sons, he had many grandsons, he had many great grandsons. पोते परपोते थे कृष्ण को, right? परंतु कृष्ण ever youthful थे, right? And see, Krishna is so young here, but still the Lord of the universe, Brahma ji, came and said, Krishna, मुझे माफ कर दो, मैं पहचान नहीं पाया. So Bhutanam Ishwarupi San, Krishna always remained the God. Okay, this is very important verse. This is 4.7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharat abhyuthana dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. So whenever there is a decline in the religious principles, religious practice or dharma or descendant of Bharata, I come again. So whenever I see that there is some, problems going on the earth, that time I appear with my own wish. Whenever I see that people are becoming cheater, when I see that people are losing their integrity, when I see that people are just looting, they are just exploiting each other, then I come and teach them proper principles. 4.7. Yeah. Now this verse is very important. So in this verse, we will in this chapter we'll be by hearting this verse, particular verse. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Now Krishna is telling, why do I come? Paritranaya sadhunam, to protect the sadhus, and vinashaya cha dushkrutam, to kill the miscreants, that means who exploit the sadhus. Dharma samsthapanarthaya, to establish the principle of religion. Sambhavami yuge yuge, I come in every millennium. So just like Lord came as Ram, then he came as Krishna, and then if you see the Satyuga, Lord came as a Narasimha, right? So he keeps on taking different incarnation. Srimad Bhagavatam says that we know only few incarnations, but just like we cannot count the tides in the oceans. आप लहरें गिन सकते हैं क्या? ओशन में कितने लहरें हैं? कोई नहीं गिन सकता. उसी प्रकार से nobody can count the incarnations of Krishna. We know very few incarnations, right? We say Dasha Avatar, right? We know very few incarnations. But Krishna is taking incarnations, many incarnations. Okay, this is a story which says that how Krishna once protected his devotee Punthanam. So Punthanam, he is one South Indian devotee, and he used to always visit this temple, particular temple. Its name is Guruvayurappan. Sorry. So this Guruvayurappan temple is in Kerala. Very nice temple, is a very famous temple. And he used to visit that temple every fortnight, I think. हर 15 दिन के बाद वो जाते थे मंदिर में दर्शन देने. And the temple was quite far away from his home. So the path was through the jungle, and once upon a time he was passing through the jungle, and he did not have anything. So Okay. So he did not have anything other than this book, Srimad Bhagavatam. And he was walking. And in the middle of the night, some people attacked him. They were goons and they were attacking him, and they told him, give me whatever you had. Whatever we have. So he gave. जो भी उनके पास था सब दे दिया. तो जो भी अंगूठी थी एक उनके पास वो भी दे दी, राइट. और फिर भी वो जो डाकू थे वो नहीं माने, बोले नहीं है और भी कुछ है आपके पास. वो थैली में क्या है वो दिखाओ दिखाओ. Show me what's there in your carry bag. So he said, nothing is there, Baba. It is a Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a book. I read this book every day. So he said, no. You are hiding means there is something, right? Show me. So he said, no, I'm not going to give you this. This is my book. So then he said, no, I want that. So there was literally a fight, and he was an old man. He started calling for Lord. Oh Lord Narayan, please come. Oh Lord Vishnu, please come. Krishna, please come, help me. And that time, a soldier came there riding on his horse. This is a true story. Huh? He came there riding on a horse. He had a talwar, he had a sword in his hand, and he literally killed all the goons there. And Puntana was so happy. He said, thank you, my lord. Who are you? He said, I'm just soldier. I was just passing from here and I heard your noise that you were shouting, bachao, bachao. That's why I came here. So Punthanam said, thanks a lot, and I cannot repay your debt, but can you please keep this, anguti, my ring with you? Please keep this ring with you. So he said, okay, as a gift from you, I'll keep this. So he kept that. And the matter was over. This Punthanam reached the Tiruvairappan. Meanwhile, the pujari of this temple had a dream. In the dream, the Lord said, I have got this particular anguti from my devotee. You return this anguti to that devotee tomorrow. His name is Punthanam. So you return this anguti to him, this ring to him. Pujari said, okay. And he thought this is this casual dream. But as soon as he opened the door, there was the ring. So Punthanam came in the morning and he was just taking a darshan. And that time the pujari said, oh Punthanam, are you Punthanam? He said, yes, I'm Punthanam. So Lord told me yesterday to return this ring. So Punthanam was shocked. He told, this ring yesterday I gave to that particular soldier who protected me. Now I realize Krishna was none other than Krishna. So Krishna can come in any form to protect you, right? So that's why here a word is very important, that paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushpratam. I protect my sadhus. Sadhu means what? Does sadhu means those who have big beard? Does sadhu means that those who wear dhoti and kurta? Or that saffron clothes? What do you mean by sadhu? Sadhu means who has faith in Krishna. Sadhu means who always worship Krishna, right? He is a sadhu. Sadhu has nothing to do with the beard and the external appearances. Sadhu is, somebody may be like a big businessman from outside, but internally he could be a sadhu, right? So sadhu does not mean, please understand, sadhu does not mean that he has a beard or he has some tilak and he is wearing some clothes. No. Sadhu means he is worshipping Krishna faithfully and he is never forgetting Krishna. Okay, now here, this is also very important. Janma karma chayame divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanmam naiti mameti sorjuna. Krishna is telling again the differentiation between humans and the God. He says, Janma karma cha me divyam, my birth and my activities are divya. Divya means transcendental, means superhuman. You can see in the picture, his birth was not so normal. Like he just born in the hospital and his eyes were closed for some days, right? No, he was so active since day one. Just see, he's been protected by Sheshnag and his father Vasudev. He told his father Vasudev, take me to Vrindavan. How many of you told your father when you born, take me to my granny's home? Did you say like that? No. But Krishna spoke, and that's why he's a god. Tyaktva deham punarjanmam naiti mamedi surjuna. Now, yesterday we were really worried about punarjanma and all. अरे ये करूंगा तो ये होगा, ये करूंगा तो पुनर्जन्म होगा, बाप रे, और कौन सा जन्म मिलेगा, कीड़े कीड़े मकोड़े यदि बन गए तो सत्यानाश, right? But Krishna is telling a simple thing, just understand my birth and my activities are not common. Just understand this one simple philosophy, that I am God. If you understand this, then tyaktva deham, when you leave this body, punarjanmam, naiti mameti sojana, no, you will not get punarjanma. Tyaktva deham, after giving up this body. Please understand, every one of us have to leave this body one day or the other, right? Nobody can say that I want to live for so many years and I will leave. No, it's impossible task, right? You cannot stay in this body. You have to give up this body. So, but Krishna is saying, after giving this body, if you worship me, then after giving up this body, you will not come again to this body. You will get eternal form in Golok Vrindavan, in Vaikuntha. Let's go ahead. This is Shlok. Do you want break for 1 minute? 30 seconds? It's 9 o'clock. Just raise your hands if you want break for 1 minute. Okay, so I'm giving a break for 30 seconds. Kindly do not leave the class. I'm just stopping my sharing. I'm just stopping my video. So you can just drink the water. I'll check if there are any questions. Oh my God, 356 chats. Amazing. Amazing. I'm just checking chat. You are having a thoughtful conversation. Super. Chalo. Let's come back to our discussion. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तन्ते मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः. So Krishna says, जिस भाव से आप मेरे पास आओगे उसी भाव से मैं आपके साथ आदान प्रदान करूंगा, रेसिप्रोकेशन करूंगा. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. That means if you want Krishna to be your son, your child, then Krishna will become your son or child. Just like you see in this picture that Yashoda wanted Krishna as her son and Krishna became her son. Now, in the other picture, you see the gopis wanted Krishna to be his lover. So gopis wanted Krishna to be their lover and Krishna became their lover. Similarly, Vishwamitra wanted Krishna to be his disciple and Lord Ram. became the disciple. So Krishna will Krishna will reciprocate with your faith, with your desire. So, if somebody wants Krishna to be his friend, Krishna will become his friend. Right? So he is the person who can, perform all the relations perfectly. He can fulfill all the relations perfectly. It is not like that if he is a child, he will not able to perform the relationship of friend with his of a friend with his other friends. No, he can perform all kinds of the relationship with his devotees. He can have he can become a nice friend, he can become a best of the lover, he can become best of the son, he can do anything. As you approach me, I will reciprocate accordingly. So this was the story of a one thief. He wanted to steal from Krishna, right? He wanted to steal jewelries of Krishna. Then he came in front of Krishna and then he said, I want to steal the jewelries from you. Then Krishna reciprocated with him accordingly. He said, okay, you want to steal? Still, I am here. And but while stealing, when that particular thief was stealing, Krishna made the heart transformation. His heart was completely transformed and he became the devotee of Krishna. So whichever relationship you want to have with Krishna, Krishna will say, no problem. You can have that relationship with me. There was one lady in Vrindavan. She wanted Krishna to be her brother-in-law. She just got married to one of the, Vrindavan Vasis. She was from other village. And when she came to Vrindavan, she was just thinking that, Krishna is like friend of my husband. That means Krishna is my brother-in-law, right? So she started developing that relationship with Krishna. She always used to think that Krishna is my brother-in-law. Krishna is my brother-in-law. And Krishna actually came there. He became her brother-in-law. He gave his darshan to this lady, right? Now here, a very important verse is coming. It is said, Chatur Varnimaya Srushtam Guna Karma Vibhagashah Tasya Kartaram Apimam Vidhi Kartaram Avyam. Krishna is saying that I have divided the society into 4 parts, right? That is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, right? So we have seen the division in the society: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. The Brahmana means the teaching class, right? Kshatriya means those who are protecting, like those who are in army. We can compare them to the Kshatriyas. The Vaishyas mean the business class, right? Those people who are doing the business, those who are into the money transaction, they can be compared to the Vaishyas. And the Shudra, those who are helping all the other classes in their respective work, they are called as Shudra. Generally, it happens, now if we see our Indian society in something like a 200-300 years ago, there was so much discrimination between the 2 classes. Hey, he's a Brahmana, and the Brahmana would say, hey, he's Shudra, like that. There was so much discrimination. But Krishna is saying, no, this discrimination is not based on janma. So somebody, let us say some child is born in the Brahmana family. Does that mean he's a Brahmana? No, according to Krishna, according to Bhagavad Gita philosophy, no. His gunas, his qualities and his activities will decide he is a Brahmana or not, right? So here, why I wanted to show this particular, I could have skipped this verse particular, but I decided to show because anyone can do bhakti and anyone can go on the level of devotee. So there is no discrimination on the spiritual platform. See, every one of us have soul, right? So हम सब में वो वही same आत्मा है, right? So we cannot have a discrimination on the basis of body, right? So you cannot say he's a Brahmana, he's a Kshatriya, he's a Vaishya, he's a Shudra, he's a lower class. Just like, I could see that, still there are many people in many villages, this custom is there. They do he's a Shudra, he's a lower class, No, but according to the scriptural philosophy, Vedic philosophy, that is not the proper thing. Many people tell that it is written in your Bhagavad Gita, it is written in your scripture that there has to be a discrimination between two castes. But Krishna said, where did I say, man? I am saying, Janma karma cha me divyam, chaturvarne maya srishtam guna karma vibhavasha. I have just divided the society so that society can function well. Just imagine if everyone becomes the Kshatriya, सब आर्मी में चले जाएंगे तो पैसा कौन कमाएगा? सब टीचिंग करने लग जाएंगे तो आर्मी में कौन जाएगा? सब बिजनेस करने लग जाएंगे, सब बिजनेस करने लग जाएंगे तो बिजनेस को हेल्पर जो चाहिए वो हेल्प कौन करेगा? दैट्स व्हाई कृष्णा इज सेइंग कि मैंने ऐसा डिवीजन किया है जिससे ये सोसाइटी जो है अच्छे से चले. But बहुत लोग, many people, they take a wrong meaning of this particular sentence, particular verse from Gita. They say, no, Krishna is discriminating between people. He says he's a Brahmana, he's a Kshudra. No, Krishna has never done that anywhere. And if we go ahead and if we see, I think in the 9th chapter, Krishna says, whoever person may be, apichetsu duracharo bhajate maam ananya bhav sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavastito hi sah. He says, whoever person may be, but if he becomes my devotee, he is sadhu. That's it. I don't want to see that he's a Brahmana, he is a Kshatriya, Shudra. No. If somebody performs my devotional service, if somebody does my bhakti, he is sadhu. Sadhureva samantavya. Okay. Now, why do bad things happen to good people? This we have discussed in the yesterday's class, that we go through because we need to experience the reactions for our bad karma. Now here, very important verse. After this verse, we will stop. Right? This was the important verse. Apart from that, 4.7 and 4.8 we discussed. Paritrahana sadhunam. This is also very important verse. This verse tells us that why we need to have a guru, and who should be the guru and how to approach the guru, right? Because if you want the material knowledge, you can take from a YouTube also, no problem. And if you want some, science, geography, maths knowledge, and whichever knowledge of the material world, you can have by joining any class or any teacher. You just give him some fees and he will teach you and he will understand and you will get a good marks. But that is not case with the spiritual knowledge. And the spiritual knowledge you cannot demand. Please understand this sentence. You cannot demand from your guru. When the guru is pleased, he will give you the knowledge. You have to keep your attitude good, right? In the material world, in the material knowledge, what happens? My dear sir, I have paid the fees. मैंने पैसे भरे हैं, मुझे ज्ञान चाहिए, ले लो. पर इधर ऐसे नहीं होता. Here you cannot demand. You have to be in a submissive mood. You cannot challenge your guru, right? ये आपने ऐसा क्यों किया? ये आपने मुझे ऐसा क्यों बताया? No. Then the whole purpose is lost. You're not able to understand anything, right? Because spiritual knowledge is not like the ordinary knowledge. There is a lot of difference. Okay. So none of us can say that मैंने पैसे दिए ना तो मुझे मैं बोलूंगा वही होगा. यहाँ पैसे नहीं होता. स्कूल में वैसे होते रहेगा. मुझे पास कर दो, मैंने एग्जाम की फी भरी है, पास हो जाओगे. पर यहाँ पे नहीं होगा. यहाँ पे आपको आई थिंक 4 चीजें दी है कृष्ण ने, या 4 चीजें दी है. वो 4 चीज आप करेंगे तो ये आपको ज्ञान मिलेगा. नहीं तो ज्ञान केवल यहाँ पे रहेगा, यहाँ पे नहीं जाएगा. और स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज यहाँ पे होता है. दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो The spiritual knowledge is awakened in the heart, not here. Spiritual knowledge is not here, it is here, right? And that's why Krishna is saying, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashvena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Tadvidhi. Tadvidhi means go to your guru. Just try to learn the truth by approaching guru. Pranipatena. Pranipat का मतलब होता है surrender. Now guru, if you want to teach me, you teach me. If you don't want to teach me, don't teach me. Do as you like. That is pranipat. You cannot demand, right? I just remembering that yesterday a few of the parents were telling, they were demanding, no, you should end class by 10. Of course, it's very difficult for me to conclude everything in 1 hour, but I was just seeing the subtle meaning behind those sentences. You know, they were demanding in one sense कि बंद करो, हमने एडमिशन लिया है ना, तो हम जो बोलेंगे वो होगा. सॉरी, राइट? ऐसे नहीं होता स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में. स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ में प्रणिपात करेंगे तो ही कुछ नॉलेज मिलेगा. आपको देर हो रहा है, आप निकल जाओ, ठीक है? जिसको इंटरेस्ट है वो रहेंगे, राइट? जिसके पास समय नहीं, अभी हम क्या कर सकते हैं उसको, राइट? आप रिकॉर्डिंग सुन लेना, राइट? So that vidhi pranipatena, so pranipat is very important. You cannot argue with guru, you know. So don't think that I'm saying that I'm your guru, but no, whoever teaching you is like your guru. He cannot be your permanent guru, but if you are learning something from someone, then he is your guru, right? And if you are getting some spiritual knowledge from him, then you have to follow these words, pranipat. You have to surrender. You have to be very, you know, meek and humble in front of him. You cannot demand. Pariprashnena, you must ask question. I see there are so many kids, they are asking wonderful, wonderful questions. So keep asking the question. Sevaya, serve. How to serve the guru? The guru says that you serve me like that, this way, and if you serve that way, the guru is pleased. Upadekshanti te jnanam. Jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Now, because why they can give you knowledge? Because they have experienced that knowledge, right? Now, if you go to your school, you know, many times it happens. Just I'm also engineer. I also understand many things, right? I'm a mechanical engineer, and then, you know, many of our teacher would just mug up something, and they would just, you know, whatever they would remember, they would just tell us. And when we wanted to learn logic behind that particular thing, they would say, नहीं, पहले भी ऐसे ही था, अभी भी ऐसा ही है. पहले वाले बैच ने ऐसा किया था, तो आपको भी ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा. But then we would ask, पर हम ऐसे क्यों करें? Why should we blindly follow? बोले वो हमको पता नहीं. अरे हमको पता नहीं, आप तो टीचर है ना. And you may also have experience of some teachers. They may be teaching some science or maths, but they may not have experienced that particular thing, and they just could be speaking whatever they have read in that book, and they must be presenting in front of you without understanding the meaning of it. And there are many teachers like that. I'm not against them, but here it is said clearly that the guru is one who has seen the truth. And when he has seen the truth, he can give you experience of that truth. So here in the spiritual life, the experience is very important. It is not just like, you know, just you mug up and then you just pass the test. You know, just आप 18 श्लोक पाठ करो और ये सॉल्व करो और 18 अध्याय के जो नाम है वो मगअप करो और आप पास हो जाएंगे गीता में. ऐसा होता है क्या यहाँ पे? नहीं, ऐसा आपको नहीं होगा. जब तक आप जीवन में आपकी गीता उतारेंगे नहीं, तो ये सारी चीजों का कुछ भी फायदा नहीं है. तो यू स्टार्ट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग द गीता's knowledge in your day-to-day life, right? Yes, there will be exam. Yes, there will be test, but the main focus behind our classes, our assignments and tests is that you should implement that knowledge in your life. You experience the spiritual life is blissful. Su sukham kartum avyayam. Until and unless you experience that, just like, you know, I was showing this picture of pizza, and I was asking, आप में से कितने जनों को पिज्जा अच्छा लगता है? So many of you had raised their hands. And then I start describing, अरे पिज्जा ना ऐसे लगता है, पिज्जा ना वैसे लगता है, पिज्जा खाओ ना, पिज्जा के ऊपर सॉस होता है, पिज्जा के ऊपर इसकी टॉपिंग्स होती है, और ये होता है, पिज्जा 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 पिज्जा. Will you experience anything? Will you experience anything? मैं कितना भी पिज्जा के बारे में बताऊं, आपको कुछ मजा आएगा? अरे नहीं आएगा मजा. जब तक आप पिज्जा को उठा के आप बोलेंगे सर दे दो ना, तो जब तक आप पिज्जा को उठा के मुंह में नहीं डालेंगे तब तक आपको मजा नहीं आएगा. उसी प्रकार से मैं कितना भी बोल दूं कि ऐसे करो गीता में ऐसे लिखा है, ऐसे लिखा है, ऐसे लिखा है, तद विद्धि प्रणिपातेन ऐसे लिखा, पर जब तक आप खुद से नहीं करोगे वो चीज को, आप आनंद को एक्सपीरियंस नहीं कर पाओगे. सो वी विल स्टॉप हियर. दिस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वर्स, तद विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदिक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिना. Because the guru has seen the truth, he has experienced the truth, that's why he has power to give you that experience. And if you want that experience, surrender to Guru. Pariprashnena, ask him the questions, and questions should be relevant, and that should not be argumentative. ऐसे नहीं चाहिए कि हाँ ये क्यों किया, ये क्यों किया, हाँ ये ऐसा हुआ वैसा हुआ. नहीं, in humble manner, right? In humble manner, questions should be asked. Sevaya, serve the Guru, and this is the way to attain the spiritual knowledge. ठीक है, दिस इज द वे टू अटेन द ट्रांसडेंटल नॉलेज. और आपने देखा इस चैप्टर का नाम ही वैसा है, ज्ञान योग, द ट्रांसडेंटल नॉलेज. और कैसे मिलेगा? गुरु को शरण जाके, गुरु से सीख के. चैलेंज नहीं करना है गुरु को. आपने देखा है कि भगवान को, हाँ, some people are like that, they are in very challenging mode, but then the knowledge transformation will not happen, right? Water always flow from up to down. Similarly, knowledge also flow from up to down. Water कभी ऐसे सामने सामने flow नहीं होता, वहां पे you must have a slope. So similarly, when we take a humble position, we are allowing that slope to take place. We also feel I am also great, so there will not be any slope, right? So knowledge transformation will not happen. So humility is very important, right? The meekness is very important if you want to understand spiritual science. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We are stopping here. Now you can ask me questions. So I am stopping my slide. And here I can see there are 71 participants. Amazing. Okay, now who have question? Please tell me. Gigi Sanjit. Okay, let's unmute him. So Sanjit ji, पूछिए question.
Sir, when is exam and test is starting, sir?
Today.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, I will share the form, Google form, and then you have to fill that. ठीक है?
Yes, sir. MCQ type, sir.
Yeah, MCQ type.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then who else? If you want to ask a question, first of all, you show me your face now. Abhigya. Please, Abhigya.
Sir, can animals also have bhakti towards any god?
Yes, that we will discuss in the 8th chapter. Right? Animals can have also bhakti towards God. Yes.
Okay.
Vinay, yeah. So basically, na you okay? Kavya Krishna. Yeah, please, Kavya Krishna.
Sir, can Animal also have soul.
Animal also have soul. I told yesterday, na? I
Yes.
told yesterday that plants also have soul. Animals also have soul. In Christianity, they don't believe that animals have a soul. That's why they said kill the animal. Right? But in the Vedic, and that's why they have soul. That's why they are growing. They are reproducing. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's give chance to Vinaya. Come on, Vinaya, tell me.
Sir, my name is Abir. My
So
mother's name is.
please change that. Now there are so many names. Today there are 80 names. I'm very poor in remembering names. Extremely sorry. Tell me, Abir, please tell me.
Sir, I had two questions.
Huh.
The first question was the paper will be in which language?
English.
Okay. And the second question is, if Krishna is the Almighty God, then why did the curse of Gandhari affect him in the Mahabharata?
That we will discuss in 9th chapter. Be tuned.
Okay.
Okay. That story is coming. Okay. Now, Runali, you have a question? Okay. Nayonika, please show me your face. Gayatri, Shrish Katyani, Gayatri, Girish, Barje, please show me your face. You have raised your hand. Tanisha. Yes, Runali, please.
Sir, in the chat box, someone had written, if you turn into fish in the next life and then you ate fish, so we will turn into mushroom.
I don't know that.
Like they're written in the chat box.
Okay, okay. So basically you become fish and then what you do?
Someone eats you and then the one you becomes a mushroom.
Might be, I don't know. बोलो और कौन है?